this week's Parsha, the Torah commands us to spite the Midianites, to hate them, because they were the ones that sent their daughters to make the Jewish people sin. And Hashem tells us, instructs us to spite them and hate them. And then the Torah says, and the plague ended, which is interesting. You see, last week's Parsha, the Jewish people got involved in those non-Jewish girls, and there was a terrible plague which wiped out thousands of Jews. And then the Torah says the plague ended. So why does the Torah begin again this week? We're speaking about them. We should spite them and hate them. And then the Torah says once again the plague ended. It ended already last week. Our commentaries teach us that, you see, when someone is a heavy smoker, a chain smoker, and he comes back from a doctor, he's feeling terrible, and he can't breathe, and the doctor says, you better quit smoking, because otherwise you've got a few months left to live. The guy won't say, okay, I'll stop and, keep cigarettes near him and still enjoy the smell, but just not smoke. If he knows the severity of what those cigarettes were doing to him, he will hate a cigarette. As long as he doesn't hate that cigarette, it's always dangerous, so come back to it. That's true with any addiction. It's true with any mistake we make. We fall for mistakes again and again. And the Torah says in last week's Parsha, Jewish people made a mistake, but they did tshuva, they repented. And therefore the plague stopped. But you know what? We can always fall for it again. And Hashem said, you better hate them. You have to spite them. If you don't hate the sin, if you don't hate the mistake, there's always a danger you'll fall back to it. And that's why the Torah instructs us this week, you should hate the sin. Don't hate the sinners. We love every Jew. But hate the sin. Hate the mistake. If you have someone that makes you do something bad friend, it's not good enough just to not hang around with that person. If you don't hate the sin, you're not going to let go of it. And the Torah tells us this week, you have to hate the Midianites because they make us sin constantly. And even if you stop sinning, it's not going to be enough. It's a message for us. We're changing our ways constantly. We're all growing. We're all coming closer to Judaism, closer to Hashem. But we have to hate our bad deeds. And as long as you don't hate the bad deeds, we'll always fall for it again. Says the Torah this week, hate them, and now the plague really finished. Because once you hate them, then the plague is certainly over forever. Thank you, and good Shabbos.